Welcome to Coffee Talk. Grab yourself a cup of coffee and join us. Our guests today and I are fairly familiar with each other. These students you see here work for me in the Center for the Digital Humanities here in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences at Montclair State University, and they have volunteered to be part of this test run and also to share with us a bit about what they're going through during this historical and amazingly difficult time. So our theme today is students and the COVID-19 pandemic crisis. On March 10th, the university announced that spring break would be extended by a week, and that on March 23rd, the university would reopen with most classes that were previously face-to-face shifting to an online format. The next day, on March 11th, the World Health Organization formally recognized COVID-19 as a pandemic. And then on March 12th, coronavirus would hit home. MSU had its first reported case. And as we embark on a new project venture with these Coffee Talk episodes, which is a direct response to the current situation, we felt it would be appropriate to take a moment and check in with students who are having to deal with a challenging shift in life, both at home, but also in their college career. I can assure you that none of these students will ever forget the spring semester of 2020. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce you to them.
My name is Amani Alkarali. I'm a senior here at Montclair State University. My major is business administration with a concentration in marketing. And my role here at the Center for Digital Humanities is a digital media support intern. So I'm working behind the scenes on projects like this. We had the Pulse going on for a while, but obviously we can't do that anymore. So a lot of media stuff is what I work on here.
So hello everyone, my name is Manny Wieger. I'm currently a sophomore here at Montclair State. I'm going into my junior year as a biology major, and I will be transferring to Rutgers for another 4-year program. Here at the center, I am a full team member. I'm currently the co-lead for the training module, which is what we use for the new people coming into the team. That's where they get trained. And I'm also on some other projects as well.
So my name is Justin. I'm a junior. My major is marketing, business administration with a concentration in marketing, and I'm a tech team member, and currently I'm a lead on the ArcGIS project.
So I go by JJ. I'm a psychology and medical humanities major going into my junior year, so I'll be graduating May 2022. And at the center, I'm one of the co-leads for the administrative support team. So I do a lot of work, I guess, sort of behind the scenes, making things run smoothly for the tech team and everyone there.
So these folks are amazing. We have a team of close to 40 people, or we did before the COVID virus. We had some people who stepped down because of this, but I'm so impressed with these people all the time. They'll tell you that I'm not just saying that because we're on a recording here, that I tell them all the time. I love being able to get out of the way and let them do some incredibly amazing stuff, and they have. So Amani mentioned that she's graduating. So, and I wanted to ask you, is it that the graduation ceremony itself has just been potentially postponed, or are there issues of potentially not graduating, period?
Right. So as far as I know, there hasn't been an official cancellation notification made as yet. Right now, it's just postponed. So they still say to buy your graduation regalia stuff, but as of now, it's just postponed until further notice.
That's the ceremony itself.
Yeah. So we're still going to get our degree and everything in May, again, as far as I know, but ceremony's postponed.
What was the hardest aspect of making this really sudden transition to learning in an online environment?
It's been difficult to maintain a routine. I feel like I don't have as much of a sense of urgency without going to class at certain times and knowing like I'll see the teacher at this time if I have a question, or doing that sort of thing. Every single day sort of feels like a Sunday. Like I know it's something to do, but every day there's not something required of me to do. It's just like summer, like you don't know what day it is, and you have to keep up with all the courses and make sure you're reading all the university emails. Everything's, new. You have to change your whole mindset, your whole routine, everything for this.
Trying to figure out that groove. I think that was the hardest part. I think for me, about like 3 weeks, I was home and like just trying to deal with the hectic environment of my household. There's like 6 of us in the house, ranging from like 21 to 5. So like trying to manage being at home and trying to figure out your life with all that going on.
The hardest thing has been like, since I dorm on campus, it's like such a weird switch from like being on your own and then like coming back to your family and having to go back to school with your family. It's kind of weird. And then some of my classes don't even have lectures, so it's kind of like self-teaching at the same time. And then others pre-record lectures, so there's really no schedule for certain classes. It's like such a everything is just so randomized now. It's nothing set in stone.
A couple of you have spoken about the difference between synchronous and asynchronous, right? So a synchronous class is one that takes place in real time, like this is synchronous. Asynchronous would be where you go and you watch the lecture later, or it's a lot more self-structured, right? So how have you guys dealt with that?
So basically, I feel like this structure, I'm not sure how it's really better for me now, but I know during the school year, I was very busy with work, extracurricular activities, going to classes, and then having to have the time to come back, have time for myself and study. Now that I have the chance to, attend these lectures on my own, now I know that I can like stay up late doing work or like watching a lecture, studying for a quiz or exam that's going to be taking place later on in the future without having to worry about waking up too early or missing a class or something. It gives me a chance to really, sit back, think, and understand what's going on in the class. Like I can always rewind or like slow things down or speed things up to go to like my best understanding level. So I feel like that's another benefit of having like an online aspect.
It's opened up my schedule a lot because I also had a very hectic school and work schedule. So now that I don't have to follow that structure anymore, I can pretty much watch my lectures whenever I need to and take as much time as I need to do the work, to study, and also have time to like exercise. I never was able to exercise when I was on campus. Now I'm in my room watching my lecture, pumping my arms in the air and just exercising. So there's positives and negatives to it. Negatives being like that structure is gone, but I like a little bit more freedom with my day.
It brings me to my next question, which is, do you guys feel like you're doing more work, less work, or about the same amount of work as most of your classes before the transition?
I think that I'm generally doing the same amount of work, but it feels like less work because we have more time. We don't have to complete our assignments around our usual class and work schedules. So even though it's the same amount of assignments, the same amount of essays and midterms and quizzes and all that, it just feels like there's a lot less to do.
So the classes that don't have lectures anymore are giving us more work to make up for the fact that we're not having lectures. And then the classes that we do have that I do have lectures for, they're giving the same amount of work. So in total, it's more work.
For some of my classes, well, there's a fact that I'm getting like extra quizzes in like some of my more difficult courses, I guess, to accommodate for the fact that while we're doing this remote learning, there may be factors that could, kind of like skew the grades. So like they're giving us more quizzes to check our, learning comprehension if we're really understanding material and whatnot.
How has this affected the balance for you? And a couple of you have talked about this already, the balance between work and school and home. I mean, I think before this, there were some clear dividers, and those have very likely disappeared. So how are you doing it, and how has it affected you?
naturally when we come home, I'm not sure if this is the case for everyone, but like we turn into like our parents, like, you know, hey, can you go clean this? Can you go get this for me? So that's something to balance with having my schoolwork, because I also have like a lot of work to be getting done. So it's also affecting my sleep. I don't know if you can tell, but like I've been having some sleepless nights, but I think at the end of this, hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm just working towards that.
So, what are some of the things you've been doing to take care of yourself?
Well, I'm home now, and I'm really enjoying having access to a kitchen because I really like. I feel like taking the time to make food that doesn't come from like the student center or like the dining halls is it's very worthwhile. It takes up a couple hours to get your mind off things, and you have a nice meal at the end of it. So
I typically call my friends once my night is done, and we just like watch anime all night until it's time to go to bed, and the cycle just repeats. So it's not totally isolating, being able to still contact people, but from a distance.
I feel like this isolation quarantine, this whole time, I'm taking it to like really try to develop myself, taking time, because I'm always with people. Like if you see me at school, I'm always with people. So I'm taking this time to like, you know, get to find something new about myself. So I'm getting back into music. So I'm like learning, playing the piano all the time, other instruments. I'm also, you know, I like to talk to like friends and family when I feel overwhelmed. And something which is I don't know if it's the best habit, but I like to, you know, get online with my friends and just like chat and like just play games and just, you know, have a good time. Just for like a little bit of the day.
If you had to choose between a face-to-face and an online class, would you take an online class again?
I think I prefer in-person learning, but going through this and seeing how people have reacted and seeing how the structure of an online classes, I feel like I would take it again. I do have a preference for learning in person, but I feel like learning online isn't as bad as I made it out to be.
Actually, prior to this, I have taken some online classes and they weren't too bad, but for my more like major course, I'm not sure if online would be the best option, but for something that's like an elective, I think it's like a little nice option to be able to like do things on your own time.
I've been trying to schedule myself so far to at least have 4 or 5 in-person classes and then one online class as like something extra, because I could put my focus, not to say to not put your focus in that online class, but you'd be more focused on your in-person classes. And just like Manny said, if it's like an elective or a fairly easy class that you can do online, there's no problem doing at least 1 or 2 online, just to also kind of free up your schedule too.
We actually do have a question from our viewing audience. Randy asks, what if our technology wasn't so developed? Do you think that the COVID cases would be higher?
I'd say like in communication wise, it would be way worse. Like on social media, there's already misinformation, and then there's people that are on different platforms on social media fixing and giving correct information. So I think that without and like spreading awareness and so many um different ways of getting the message out there, that if that wasn't available, people would only have hearsay and just like maybe a few different ways of receiving that message. So I think that technology has been able to broadcast that message way to like a bigger audience.
My mom is part of a Facebook group who decided to start making masks to send out to like hospitals and things, which she's talking to all these people who she normally would never meet in real life. She had no clue who they were beforehand. And there's like, they're making hundreds and hundreds of masks, every single week. And it's like little things like that where you see people supporting each other who wouldn't normally ever be able to meet if it weren't for technology, meeting and trying to put forth a solution to even just like a small problem like the mask shortage, which isn't a small problem, but they're putting their best effort to it.
What are some of your goals? What are some of your plans? What are some of the things you're looking forward to once things return to whatever this new normal is going to be?
If we continue with the social distancing, I'm looking forward to summer and getting a summer job. I'm looking forward to there's like this summer program inside of the for like res life, and I'm really looking forward to like seeing some of my old friends, making some new friends, and having the opportunity to live on campus and make money. I also look forward to like, hopefully traveling and, just hanging out with friends in general.
It's funny because Manny and I work together at the center, but we also work together at the dorm. We were both RAs together in Blanton. And with all of our friends that were on staff, we're like, oh, this is going to be such a great summer. Like, we're all going to get this job on campus together, and we're going to live on campus. We're going to be RAs on campus. We're going to spend the summer together and, have a great time. And then not even like a week later, it was like, all right, well, see you guys next year. Like, that was it. And I feel like with a lot of my other friends, we had plans to hang out. I feel like I would have hung out with my friends from high school normally if I had been home, and now it's just making plans for the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing those plans through at some point.
I don't know. I feel like this could either be the best or the worst summer ever. So it's like, I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to just reconnecting with my friends again in person.
What is one positive thing that you can take away once we're out of this current situation?
Sometimes I go on like 2-hour walks and I see like just deer roaming around on people's like front lawns and things like that. And it's like, just appreciating nature and things like that as well, because we're stuck in the house. Like, I will never tell my friends, no, I'm not going out again. Like, so many different things that I'll not take for granted. Just going to the movies, everything really.
Even though I'm not spending as much time with different people, the time that I spend with my family that I'm sort of stuck in quarantine, so to say, with, the time that we spend together is more quality than it would have been had we been able to do whatever we want, go wherever we want. Like last night we had like a game night, which is something that doesn't really happen, which was super, super fun. And I had like a Zoom reunion with some of my high school friends when normally we would have probably spent a month being like, okay, are we free on this date or this date or this date? And we all just like hooked up our computers and we got to see each other for the first time in like a year or so. Even though I'm not seeing as many people as I normally would, the time that I spend with people is quality time.
You could like really take a look into yourself. You have the time, like we have time to like do things that we never thought we could do, like come up with new hobbies, or, like learn a new like trade or faculty ourselves.
I think that's the saddest part for me as a graduating senior. Like, I'm not going to be able to see you guys before I go. I mean, I could, but like, it's so hard to just come back and see you guys like on a regular basis. Like, that's been cut short for me. And I love all of you guys so much. I've only been at the center for less than a year, and you guys are just so amazing. So leaving you guys is going to suck a lot. And then on top of that, like not getting to say a proper goodbye too. I'm going to be graduating in May, so I'm literally going to be, thank you, starting a new chapter in my life, but it feels like that start is like on hold. So as soon as this is all done, I just want to go celebrate somewhere, go to Atlantic City or a water park or Six Flags or something, and just celebrate like this accomplishment of graduating and finishing college. But my main concern is finding a job. Like, that's already a concern in general, regardless of this virus or not, college students coming out of college and trying to find a job. But with the way the environment is looking right now, it's very, very discouraging to try to look and apply, not knowing what the future will hold. So I'm just hoping that once this is all over, I can finally start working or doing something to kind of get my life on track. I want to find an apartment and commute to work. I want to drive. I just want to start my life. But I just feel like everything is at a standstill right now. And that bothers me. Like, I have to keep moving, but there's literally something in my way that will prevent me, and I can't do anything about it. I'm just looking forward to starting over, new journey, new chapter.
I would say to those who are watching, there's a subscribe button somewhere down here. Please click that subscribe button. We have this long, bulky URL that we can't change until we get 100 subscribers. Add any comments you may want to after watching this. So I would appreciate you doing that. And also check back on the channel for other videos that we produce during the year. And to find us, go to montclair.edu and do a search for the Center for Digital Humanities. Once we have some of our future sessions planned, there will be a spot on our website where not only will we have an announcement of those sessions, but we will have an embedding of the previous recordings. So that all being said, you guys are awesome. I will see you after the weekend. Thanks for sharing some coffee with me, and be good.
Thank you, AJ. Nice seeing everybody. Yeah.
Bye.